Well, hello everyone, and welcome to part 2, or I should say webinar number 2. Today is going to be a special day because I'm always up for learning something new, or even if it's something that I already feel like I have a good handle on, even if it's something that I feel like I know pretty well. It never hurts to revisit those concepts, because likely if you talk to somebody who's in the field or somebody who just enjoys the study of it all, you'll end up learning something new in the process, even if you think you've got it mastered, right? And there's just something about email analysis and staying safe with email that I feel like I've got covered, that I know what I need to know, and I can spot a phishing scheme or a scam at a moment's notice. And yet, why is it that we tend to every now and then click on the wrong thing? Every now and then an email slips through the cracks. Every now and then the spam filter doesn't catch it, and all of a sudden we're eye to eye with something that could be malicious and potentially harmful to our computers, and even worse than that, to our bank accounts and so on. And so today's episode is a good one for those who are trying to figure out ways to stay safe in our online environment. And you know, the number one way that hackers and scammers try to take advantage of us, the citizen, just the everyday average Joe, what do? They try to get to us through email. And I got to tell you, I have a ton of email, lots of emails that I have to go through every day. And sometimes you don't have time to really to sift through it and sort through it and really look at it. and determine if it's good or not. You're probably going to open it and click on something, or you're going to delete it real quick. But we have with us today our special guest and presenter, and his name is Skyshun Smith, and he's going to talk to us about why we should slow down and what we should be looking for in those potentially fraudulent emails. Now, Skyshun, just to give you a little bit of history, he graduated from Louisiana Delta Community College in the Information Technology degree program. And I'm happy to say that I had the privilege of teaching him at least one or two classes. Now, his expertise and what he knows, he learned outside of my classes. I brought him up from the baby steps, and then he just took it to a whole nother level. And he's actually just finishing up an internship, which I believe, well, he's going to tell us for sure, but I believe has helped him to grow even more as a cybersecurity specialist and an analyst. And email is one of his favorite things to talk about. So welcome, Skyshun.
It's nice to be here.
Actually, I said on the last episode, I said I was going to include for the next one a real sound effect. But I forgot. I forgot to download it again. So hopefully for Wednesday's episode, we'll have the sound effect in place. But you forgive me, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's okay?
Yes.
All right. So a long introduction for you. I'm excited to see what you have in store for us today. And just talk to us a little bit about what do we need to do? How do we stay safe? And how do we spot those email scams that are so prevalent in today's everyday existence?
So the first thing is definitely look at the subject. That's the most common thing to do. And if it looks pretty genuine, just click on it. It's always okay to click on it. Now,
so you're saying it's okay to click on an email just to open it up more or less?
Just to open it up.
Okay. So you have one up on the screen. Let me change this up. I'm sorry. I'm delayed here. He's already got it up on the screen. What is this? Home offer.
So it's saying ADT security, which usually you can already see some red flags already, and I'll get to that in like a second. But for right now, let's look at the picture. So usually the picture actually tells you a lot about what are they trying to get you. So usually what I like to do is look for typos. So
that's good. I like that.
Yeah, okay. Look for typos, because usually a official one would not have a typo, and usually if they do, they'll have a disclaimer or something at the bottom. And from what I've seen, like you can already see based off of here that this is very unprofessional. Like stuff like formatting, like look for formatting and stuff. Usually they'll have a lot of stuff, and just rambling. And
so you're saying that with this one that we're looking at right now, actually, let's go. We want to go back one. Like, can you go back a screen? Because I'm curious. So I'm looking at ADT security, and it looks just from the line. ADT security looks like it makes sense.
It makes sense.
Right. There's nothing there that would be odd initially. Okay, go ahead and click. I'm sorry. Click through it.
No, it's okay. We're going to go back here. Another thing is I'm going to show you my email right here. This is my personal email. This is not my, professional or anything. I just use this as my personal email. You'll notice right here, they're sending it to FrancineL@AOL.com, which is very odd. So we don't know, and it's from ADT security. But look at the email they're sending it from. It's like a whole bunch of numbers with info underscore and a whole bunch of numbers. And then this right here, which is a subdomain, and then another subdomain, and then .com, which is a suffix.
And then via XNCY. What in the world?
Which is another domain.
Jeez.
And then they CC'd it to Francine.2, which I don't even know where that comes from. So how do we check that? And also, Google gives you the security. it's saying that this was not encrypted. This message was not encrypted.
So that red line that you just showed us with the, was that a padlock with a
yeah, slash
through it?
Yep, slash through it.
So
and
that
it'll be
indicates
in red, and it'll be in red. It's color coded. If it's green, that means it's encrypted. If it's red, it's unencrypted.
Oh, okay.
So how do we check this? So there's a feature, and it's all email providers or free email providers support this. So we're gonna go to right here, and it says Show Original. We're gonna click that. So now you'll see where the actual message came from. So you'll see the ID. This is just the ID, and then right here we got their IP address right here, and then and then this is the actual domain they're actually sending it to.
Wow. Wait. Okay. So now, just for me, because again, this is all interesting. Can you go back one more time?
Okay.
And show us how to get to this?
Yes.
Like where the screen that we're on right now. I'm sure everybody that's watching already caught it, but I just want to see it one more time, if possible.
Hold on one second. Yeah, I'm gonna have to exit full screen. So let's go back and re-enable full screen. All right. So we're gonna go to that little hamburger helper.
Oh yeah, the 3. Okay, gotcha.
And we're gonna go to Show Original.
Oh,
for
okay.
Google, for Gmail users only.
So Show Original, which is hidden a little bit behind the picture that we have of you.
Yes.
But we see it. Okay, good deal. I saw what it was.
Okay. So now there's a whole bunch of stuff. So actually, we can actually show you to learn more over here. So this will tell you, like, Google does a pretty decent job on explaining things for the user. And they may be vague, but when it comes to cybersecurity, they're pretty good at it.
Okay.
So, they'll actually show you, what does this mean? It just means that, is it authenticated? That's all it's asking us.
So in layman's terms, is it a credible source? Has the email been authenticated, or has the domain been authenticated, or both? And you find that with Learn More. Now look at that. SPF says it passes with IP. So the IP address somehow is good?
Yep. They think it's okay. So it just goes right through.
Huh. Yet there's so many things on here that look suspicious, but wow, okay.
Now the subject, here's a big red flag here. It says home alarm offer. Let's go back. Let's actually go back real quick. Let's exit. Let's go back to here, which it does say. It does say. So let's go back here. So now it's actually saying delivered to. This is the person who got the email, and it actually went to my actual email.
So that makes me wonder if they blind carbon copied a whole bunch of people. Maybe that's what it was. Okay. Wow. But at least it's saying it's delivered to. If we didn't have blind carbon copy, we might be really scratching our heads. Oh, and look at that. I was looking at what you saw. Like, there's like a whole bunch of other emails, it looks like, going down. What are we looking at with all this? Can you make sense of it for us?
Pretty much this is what the SMTP server is going through, which is usually how the email is sent. So pretty much it's checking. So this is actually going to SMTP source, and it's going to pretty much their source, and it's sending it to those people. That's pretty much what I can think of. And then from what they're doing an ARC test. The authenticated results is going to Google, and then they're like, well, okay, it passes. And that's pretty much it. Then they're encrypting something, because they're using RSA with AES.
Well, look at that.
256.
It's like a needle in a haystack. I wouldn't have even thought to look there. But the RSA tipped you off.
And it's going through Yahoo, and it's also going through Outlook as well.
Huh.
So I'm guessing, and then the mail is actually it's not mail, but the person who's using it is using Comcast.
Wow, look at that.
And it even gives us a domain. So
Seems like it's a lot of back and forth. There's a
Yeah.
lot of players involved in here in this whole deal. Wow.
So I was one of those people, and even though it says Francine, this one is probably mine right here. So this is for each person that was sent through this email.
Okay.
So because you can tell when I go down here, it actually says francine.el. So the next thing you can actually look for, and this is a little complicated, but I'm going to show you guys how to do this. Very simple. So you notice there's a whole bunch of garbled text right here. And actually sending it to AWS, which is interesting. So they have an AWS server. But if you go over here, so you see that it says confirm. This is the actual URL for that confirmation. So this is what you're going to, this site right here.
So when you click on the object or the image, that's where you're headed.
I'll show you.
Okay.
A second. So let's go back over here. So we're going to go over here. See this right here?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're actually going to. You're actually going to this domain, this actual link right here.
Oh. Yeah. Well, wait a minute. Now that's interesting because when you hovered over the link in the other email, it made it seem like it was going to, at worst, an Amazon cloud service somewhere. But in actuality, you're going there. Okay. That's really odd. Wow.
So another thing is, you see this right here? So it says the encoding right here. It says hexa, but it's really base 64. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a tool. Yeah, we're going to use a tool. And you notice there's a lot of garbage text, which they're trying to use and encode. They're trying to encode this to hide, to make it seem like nothing's going on. Let's go over here, CyberChef, and let me show you. So
CyberChef.
Yep.
What
So
is
this
this
is what we
place?
use for cybersecurity. You know, it's also used to like encode or decode or encrypt or decrypt. So we're gonna use base. So we're gonna go from base 64. Since we know it's 64, we're gonna drag that right there. And we're just gonna copy and paste everything. Now we see the magic at the bottom,
Wow.
and we're gonna maximize it right here.
So wait a minute. First of all, how'd you know it was base 64?
Okay, so usually what we learned in the cybersecurity internship is that if you go all the way at the bottom right here, see this right here? So usually base 64 usually ends with an equal sign or double equal sign. So that's how we know it's base 64.
Okay. As opposed to base 10 or base 2, as opposed to binary or hexadecimal,
Yeah.
any of those others. Base 64, we're using 64 characters to represent
Yep, pretty
information.
much.
Gotcha. Okay.
So now let's look at the output. And some of it's garbage. It's still garbage. But see, like one says bonjour, which is French for hello.
Oh, you know all
And
the
then-
languages. Not only do you know computer language and computer code, but also actual,
And
foreign
then
languages.
this one's saying gracias, as in thank you in Spanish. And even says it right here in English. Thanks for subscribing. And then merci means thank you in French. So, thanks for subscribing. And then it's saying that in French. And then now we can see some text. Now we can see some formatting. A little web coding right here. So this is paragraph. So we're splitting we're splitting these two right here. So I'm guessing this is in HTML.
Right.
So
like
and then this is garbled right here, which is actually using another. I think this is actually encoder.
But look at that. It says, please enter your email and click continue to send a password reset message to your email account. So apparently if you would have clicked through, there were going to be prompts for you to
Yeah.
deliver some personal data.
And then look what we have here. completely different
Wait,
from.
that doesn't even make any sense.
Yep.
The Children's Museum, weren't we just looking at ADT?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, okay. I am completely lost now.
Yeah, and then it says, "Please remember to drop." What? What does this mean? Oh, now they're talking about Xfinity. So what I'm guessing is what's happening here is that each person got a different email scheme. So whoever got
I see.
mine got mixed up with Francine, because Francine got this. So let's see if we can look at it right here. So that means, what did I actually get? And then even here, we got a new text. I mean, new links.
My goodness.
Yeah, it's like, and then even they had the audacity to even put their stuff, which we can actually check.
Well, I'm just wondering what happened to ADT. Like,
Yeah,
all of a
there's no
sudden.
ADT.
So that base 64 text that you copied was embedded somewhere in the email.
Yes.
And if we would have gone down the rabbit hole deep enough, we would have come to something potentially completely different. Certainly trying to fish for some data, obviously.
Yeah, pretty much. And we can actually see that right here. So what they're trying to do is right here. So you see how they have a login right here?
Mm-hmm.
That's usually how they get you. They'll try to do that, and they'll try to encrypt like this into it. Now I can't confirm that's the case. From what I've seen, this looks like a comment line at most, which in its own is very suspicious anyway, because we don't know what they're actually saying, you know.
Wow.
So, and then we got here, like, look at all this garbled text right here.
And
it's
more
in
foreign
Spanish. So pretty much what they're looking for. Okay, so students is one of them, campus. So, like, if you're looking for, usually what they'll try to hide is the actual information. So, my guess is that this is actually what they're trying to do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's see here.
That's a ton of information.
Yeah, it's a lot. And what we can do is, let's go back up here and go back to right here. We're going to go ahead and copy this IP address. And we're going to go to a website called showdown.io. And we're going to click here. And we're going to see all the stuff where it's actually from. And it's actually coming from the Netherlands.
So all those different languages and all those potential countries, but the IP address is showing us that particular, the origin as we know it, is from the Netherlands.
Yes.
Based on the showdown.io, a program, a website, or what are we looking at right here?
So we're looking at ports, vulnerabilities, and so like what ports are open. So we got 25, which is SMTP, which was actually shown, through Google. So like when Google saw this, they configured it just enough for it to pass.
Oh, so I see. So this server resides in the Netherlands, presumably.
Yes.
And the server has these open ports, 25, 53, and 80. So it's almost like a simple email server.
And they have their own DNS server.
Okay.
So that means that it's, when you do command prompt and stuff like that, it's going to go through. It's actually going to go through. And then on top of that, so it's actually and this is bad because both TCP and UDP should not be open at the same time.
Oh. Really? Okay.
Yeah, it should just be. It usually should just be UDP, because TCP is a lot slower. But it's more secure than UDP. UDP is more it's fast but insecure. And then we have HTTP open, which is the not HTTPS, but the unprotected version of it.
Oh, right. I've been noticing a lot of URLs nowadays have HTTPS. You're saying that stands for secure.
No, no,
Secure
no, no, no,
HTTP.
no, no. So
HTTPS is
it's
secure,
secured.
but that's a different port.
HTTP is the unprotected one.
Okay, which is port 80.
Mhm.
So you recognize that based on your training. I understand.
Yes.
Wow.
So pretty much, let's look at history. I can't go there.
I was wondering, so the vulnerabilities on the left-hand side, Shodan is showing us that server has certain vulnerabilities that haven't been patched yet. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. On the left-hand side, wow.
So one of them is using PHP, which in web development, PHP is very, very. It nowadays people look down upon PHP. Some people still use it, but it just has a lot of vulnerabilities like SQL injections, picture injections and stuff like that. Cross scripting and stuff like that. So we try to avoid. See, right here for an example. And it also can cause denial of service or distributed denial of service, which a whole bunch of botnets, that are zombied, and then they attack the website or other websites, or including your computer's network too. So you have to keep that in mind.
Okay. Wow. That's a whole laundry list of patches that need
Yeah.
to be applied
Yeah.
to this server. I don't even know how many lines that is, and you're still scrolling down.
Mm-hmm. So let's look at another one. We're gonna use Outlook. This one's a little bit easier. So here we have right here. It says, hello Skyshun. As you may be aware, parking can sometimes be a challenge in some locations. We'll be developing new rules and regulations as the signage to assist employees with parking. We believe this will make things easier and better for everyone. All employees must register their vehicles. And this is already a big red flag because I don't have a vehicle. So,
Okay.
in order to utilize parking facilities, immediate response is needed. This is necessary to continue parking on property. Please see the attachment documents for instructions. Thank you. Parking services. Okay, so the first thing is it's saying that this is from La Delta. So as you may or may not know, we use the ladelta.edu for staff members. Now students use my La Delta to insinuate that's actually a student. So we don't have this part right here. But how do I know I don't have this part? We don't have this part. Well, so I'll give you an example. So let's look at a legitimate email from someone right here. I'll give you an example. Let's see. Nope. This one right here. So you notice it's a no reply. And on top of that, it's there. Or I'll give you an example like this here. So you'll see the person's stuff right here. But for ours, we don't have that for parking at all. So that's one red flag. Another is actually, let's go back. Go back over here. So you could do the same feature here, but it's a bit different. So instead of more, we're going to go to view. And over here, we're going to view the message details here. Now, there's a lot of things going on here. But it's doing the exact same thing, just like this. Let's go back all the way up. Actually, we could do this. Oh, whoops. I didn't mean to do that. There we go. It's doing the exact same thing right here. The only difference is that this is actually a phishing test. And it tells us right here. And it went through because they created this. This is the phishing test.
Oh, I see it. Lower it says X-Fish test.
Yep,
This
X
is a phishing test.
Yep,
Okay.
this is a phishing test from B04
Right.
or known B4. Yep. And this is registered and stuff like that. So.
But it was interesting because you said it earlier. You said, I don't have a car.
Mhm.
So how is this coming to me when I don't
have a car.
there's no reason for me to even have to deal with this. And anybody that knows me knows that.
And if I clicked here, it would tell me I failed the test. But more actions. You can preview it, but we're not going to because that will make me flunk that part. So I'm not going to.
Okay.
Another one. So another thing is, see how the subject says urgent? It should not say urgent at all. Any email that says urgent already becomes suspicious, please. Because when it comes to urgency, that's a big indicator of like someone's gonna ask you something, whether it's money or whether it's information. Be wary of those tags that some people will use to get your information.
Good point.
Now this one is this has no typos.
So it's well crafted.
So it's well crafted.
What about, I'm curious about that Frank C. Jones one, though. Like,
This one right here?
Yeah.
This one's very, very dangerous right here. If this was a real virus, all it takes is somebody accidentally clicking on this and you're done.
And you can't click on it because
you can't click on it because it's part of, you have to actually type. I didn't mean to do that. My mouse always does that. Well, but it's okay.
You closed it soon enough, right? Hopefully.
Yeah, and it'll send me an email.
I mean, but look at that Frank C. Jones products. That strong encryption. That doesn't make.
But it's also from what's it called?
No before.
Oh wait, whoops! I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, message details, huh?
Right here, and it says it right there. If we scroll a little bit down.
Oh yeah, I actually saw something.
Yep, right here. See?
Yeah. Okay.
And it's gonna send me a message that said I failed, but that's okay. I'm not worried about it.
So that other one
that
that
was proof here.
Right. Yeah, this has been documented that you misclicked. It was an accident.
Yeah, it was an accident.
So the Louisiana Delta Community College HR. I'm curious. I'm really curious about that one.
I can actually show the difference. So this one is definitely fake. I'm not clicking that, but
I can confirm hr@ladelta.edu is an actual legitimate
email address. Mm-hmm. So, but there's a difference between this and the ones we get actually. So, what we actually get for direct deposit is this. This is what we get. And that's pretty much what we know. Now, if it was somebody who was first new and never got their first paycheck, then yes, they would actually get fooled by that.
Yeah, they would be a victim for sure.
But when you first get your paycheck, you always get it a day before you actually get it, usually around at the evening time, or if not earlier. And they'll never give you a code like this. Usually they'll have it even gives you a set of instructions. It gives you a PDF. But the PDF is secured. It's just telling you, to look at it, documentation of it. And it does not tell you this at all.
Wow. So, and I don't think I've ever seen a signature, a sign, Louisiana Delta Community College HR team. I don't think that's ever been that way.
Yes. Now, actually, I could show you one more thing. So we're gonna do this. So there's a site called AnyRun. Any.run. So what we can do is for that first one, I want to actually look. Let's see. No, that's not it. Okay.
Uh-oh. He's been hacked.
I don't remember it, but it's okay. That is okay. But we could have checked.
That's weird. I thought, yeah, because there's a free feature. There's something that you can do with this, right?
Yes. No, you have to actually sign up.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Well,
And I just don't have the. We don't have the time,
Right.
unfortunately. So
but what would any run have shown us potentially?
it
What
would
would
have showed. It would have allowed us to check that email's website. So if we went right here and we went copy,
Mhm.
and now I'm gonna just do this and see how like all that's garbage right here.
Yeah.
It's actually going through the S20, that actual AWS server that was in actually the original. So it was actually one of these servers, and we can actually look and see. There you go. It's actually going to here.
Mm.
So it's actually going to here. Now we don't know what this is going to, which is interesting.
Yeah. Wait, is there another website though that we could put a
Let's see. Hold on. Virtual. I think there is. I think it's browser link. Yep, it is. We can do this for free. I remember this. So we're going to actually go over here. There we go.
So what is it doing?
So we're going to actually. So what it's actually doing is making a virtual box or a virtual machine. And it's actually taking us to that virtual machine and adding that URL there for us.
And we're in, wow, look at that, Windows Operating System 7.
And it's no longer here. It's giving us a 404 error.
Oh, I'm curious about that subscription link. If you can find your way back to that one that said subscription, the one lower.
This one right here?
Yeah, I'm real curious about that.
Okay, we can check that one. That's all right. Let's do that. So we're going to end this session. We're going to do this, but this time we're going to do Chrome
Oh, okay.
because I like Google Chrome, and majority of people use Google Chrome nowadays.
So sometimes with these virtual machines, it takes them a little while.
Yep,
To
it
load up.
gives us a DNS error.
Look at that. So things are getting shut down pretty quickly.
Pretty quickly. And usually what that means is that this can't harm you no more. They've already
Oh.
been seized already.
Okay.
Usually pretty much by either the FBI or, the CIA, stuff like that. They're already getting shut down. Now whether they're being prosecuted or stuff like that, we don't know. But websites are being constantly shut down by the federal government, for our safety. And I'm glad they're doing it. But sometimes it may be too late to do that. Now, if I did the links for those phishing ones, that actually does count because I actually did do that as, personal training, and it actually flagged it as it opening. So
You're talking about the no before
phishing
ones?
test, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it actually counts. So I have to be careful. But this helps a lot for me, though. Let's see. Let's look at another one before we conclude. So let's do something that's actually very recent. So I'm going to actually go to my actual email.
Uh-oh. Watch out.
So right here, let's see. What is... We're going to go to spam. UPS. That's actually a good one. So be careful. And see, already it tells me it's spam. So we're going to right click. I just gotta be careful. Now, if your mouse double clicks, that's on you. And I've had ones that double click.
So this is a known issue, but it's fresh. So we're hoping we go someplace interesting. Storage.google
Yeah.
APIs.
Oh, it was shut down.
Wow. But look what it changed it to radiusdressing.com. What is that?
So what they'll do is sometimes what they'll do is they'll do a redirection. So what that means is that, let's say, Google.com, it says, hey, I'm going to go to Google.com. But then it's like, no, I'm gonna redirect you. Google.com is unavailable right now. So I'm going to take you to this. I'm going to go to Google with an extra O.com. And it'll take you to the so-called Google.com, and that'll be their way of attacking you, to pretend that it's actually Google, but it's not Google.
Wow. So many tricks.
Yeah.
So many tricks.
Let's do another one. We can actually do this in real time. So what I'll do instead,
wow,
Cash
App.
Okay.
Where's my money?
So what we're
That's
gonna
funny.
do is we're gonna actually go over here.
$750.
That's a lot.
I'm all there. That's me. Can I just please? I'm
And
curious.
actually, this in its own is a major suspicious right there.
Yeah, doesn't make any sense.
So we're gonna go all the way down, and wow, that's a lot of. So this time they're not even hiding much, except for this though. This is actually being hidden well. Let's actually look.
Do you think that's base 64 too?
We can track. Oh wait, no, that's not it. Let me remove that. No, it's not base 64.
Wow, that looks
See
really
how,
strange. That's another planet.
Yeah, from what I can guess. Hold on, let's go back. What we could do, we don't have to actually do this. So what we can do is see if what they're actually trying to do here. There we go.
Oh, an actual live site.
So this is actually, this looks like it got shut down. Wait, no, that's just the domain. Okay.
But
So-
there's something on that domain or on that server that's
Yep.
malicious.
Yes.
I wonder if the owners even know that there's something going on there,
Yeah.
Wow.
Another thing we could do is what we could do, and then we'll wrap this up, is we can actually do a virus total scan.
Oh, okay. Virus total. That'll be interesting.
So let's go to virus total. Oh, wait, virus total.
These are things that anybody has access
Yep,
to.
anyone has access to.
Wow.
And see right here is, and it's clean. Now, just because there's 10 detected files embedded to this domain doesn't mean that it's bad. You'll see like there's bad ones right here, but that's just telling you that, people are using it in a malicious way. That doesn't mean that they're actually it's malicious right off the bat. So like somebody's using it as an Outlook like email, and then we could check it.
Oh.
We can actually check what is it doing, and then there's a community that might say, hey, this is phishing.
Oh, wait. The thing at the top changed, though.
Mm-hmm.
So now that's a 2 out of 6. So 2 security vendors
Find it
flagged this file
malicious.
malicious. Wow.
And see, URL phishing, and then the other one doesn't say.
Well, but what did you click to get there, though?
Okay, let's go back. We're going to go to relations. We're going to scroll all the way down. We're gonna
Oh,
go to
that,
right
the
here.
message. Okay.
Mhm. And then we'll do one more. Let's see, 11. Rather invoice. Ooh,
Oh, look
this
at
one's
that.
a Trojan script and a phishing attempt. So no comments right there, but it's definitely an email phishing going on.
From that
Mm-hmm.
URL,
Yep. For this,
potentially.
no, it's a file.
Oh,
This is a
okay.
file.
Thank you for clearing that up.
Yep, that's a file. So it's an email file.
Did I see when you went to relations and you scrolled down some? I'm just curious. Yeah, scroll. Okay, so communicating files. What? Keep scrolling down. I thought there was something else I saw.
This
Thumbprint. Like, does that mean anything? Is that some kind of hash or something? Like, what is that?
thumbprint where we
Down lower.
down lower.
You see where? Right there.
Oh, okay. Yep. This will tell you, and we can't choose it because we have to have the enterprise virus total.
Oh, okay.
But it should show you the thumbprint where it's actually located, and my batteries are running low.
Oh, wow.
So
But wow, I mean that's so you basically can go down a rabbit hole and learn all sorts of things about your emails, the IP addresses, the underlying malicious attacks that might be trying to
yep,
happen.
and I
Wow.
failed. See.
Oh no, that's right. From that one that you accidentally clicked on.
Yep.
You had a perfect record until just now, right? It was my
No,
fault.
it was my second one. That's fine. I could do that another time. It's fine.
Wow, that's amazing. So your battery's about to run out, but it actually works out just fine.
Yep.
Because we can transition back away from the computer and just kind of wrap this up. I mean, you took
Yep.
us down a long, windy road. It was a tour, and quite honestly, things that you just don't think about, and you don't think that you can go and do all those things on your own. But you showed us that you can, as just a regular person, if you know the right tools to use, you can be a cyber researcher almost, at least for yourself, in a small way.
Yep, pretty much.
That's incredible. So before we wrap up, my last question for you, or my, I guess, question just in general is, if you had to summarize what we talked about today, maybe give people some tips, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 tips to go home with, what would that be? What would you tell somebody just to summarize everything that we talked about?
So for the most part, just look at the subject for your emails. Always, please. If it doesn't even have anything, that's actually even worse because then you don't know who you're talking to, what the subject is about. Always look at that. If it looks genuine, click on it, but don't click on anything that that it tells you that click here. Don't do anything. Next is just to look at the email. Think of it as this. Do you remember, a website telling you about this? Are you actually looking for something in that particular email? If so, always double check to make sure it's legitimate, by using those tools that I've showed today. If it looks okay and there's nothing that's suspicious, then it's usually just double check through sandboxing and make sure it's actually that. It's always good to, protect yourself first before, better than late than never, That's the best policy when it comes to that. Just make sure that what email you're getting is genuine, and you can pretty much be safe from most attacks. Normally, if you click on something, like I'll give you an example. If you're clicking on something like that's asking you personal information and it wants you to type something, don't type it right away. Always look at it and make sure it's right. But if it's something that's already being downloaded, then yeah, always use a virtual machine or like a sandbox like BrowserLink or any.run to make sure what's happening is not malicious. But for the most part, emails should not ask you to download anything. That's one thing. Unless unless you're in an environment where you have to. But in most cases, that's not the case.
Wow. Okay. I like that summary right there. So look at the subjects, just be careful about it, downloading anything from an email if you're not expecting it, and just overall stay safe and just take a little bit extra time, a little bit more caution
Mm-hmm.
before you decide to click away and because you never know. Your whole computer could be put up for ransom.
Yep.
You know?
Pretty much.
I mean, that's what's happened in so many cases, recently, just being careless. Well, Skyshun, we want to thank you so much for being a part of this series for LDCC Cyber Month, celebrating not only cybersecurity but all things tech. And we really appreciate your time and your expertise. And we hope that, even if it's not October,
Mm-hmm.
maybe you can come back again and enlighten us with something new that you've learned or remind us of what we need to be doing
Yes.
on a regular basis. That would be great to have you back on the show. Thank you so much. And we will see you at the next one, which is going to be Wednesday, October 12th. Details to come. So check us out. But for now, good night.
Good night.